afternoon. Welcome to Topic of Discussion. I am Azia Branson.
I'm McCaig.
And we are bringing you the latest in sports news. The biggest, latest, most exciting story in sports news. Last night, a brawl between a cleared benches, bullpen, coaches brawl between the Dodgers and the Padres. Tell us what happened there.
Well, I think this whole thing's number one, just a big misunderstanding.
Yes.
It was a 3-2 count in a one-run game. Greinke's not going to – a smart pitcher is not going to throw at a guy intentionally there. And, I mean, this whole thing, it wouldn't really be that big of a deal in my eyes if Greinke wouldn't have gotten hurt. He has a broken collarbone.
Mm-hmm.
So, but, I mean, hey, I'm going to give him – props for he took that hit like a man, and he told him to come on, so I got pretty fired up by it.
Yeah, he took more of the hit, like I would have just ran away, obviously. Like he's missing probably most of the rest of the season because of this injury.
Guaranteed money though, doesn't matter.
True. I think it is also a bigger deal for Quentin because he said he's led the league in hit by pitches the last few years. But he's like, I've never been hit by a pitcher 3 times except for Greinke. So he thinks that Greinke has something out for him, and Greinke's like, no, it's just by chance that I happen to hit you 3 times, even though he's never hit any other batter 3 times.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and the Dodgers and Padres, they've kind of always been like the like big NL rivals. So I mean, you kind of had to see it coming at some point. It's kind of like if someone for the Bo Sox goes out and hits Jeter, there's going to be something said. Yeah,
always an NL West brawl there.
Yeah,
I think all those teams kind of have something at each other for each other. But there was 3 players that got ejected, or 4?
I'm not even sure.
Kemp,
I know,
and Hairston and Quentin and Greinke.
Yeah,
I think maybe 4. Yeah, so that was exciting. Also, Jeff Garcia says, should the Jets trade or release Tebow?
Well, I think Jeff Garcia is kind of going out on a limb here, but at the same time, I think he's kind of right. I mean, the Jets have said they have no interest really in keeping Tebow in New York. And Jeff Garcia is just, I guess, kind of saying what no one else will, like, hey, if you're not going to use him, get him out of there. I mean, they're just holding on to him for, I guess, to see if they can get something to trade for, but no one's expressed any kind of interest in him. So I think Jeff Garcia is kind of right here, but at the same time, I mean, he doesn't work for the Jets. He hasn't played football in probably 3 or 4 years. So I don't think that he's in the wrong, but I think he kind of needs to not lay back, but tone it down a bit.
Yeah. I do agree that they should do something with Tebow if they're not going to use him, which they have expressed.
I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super big Tebow fan, but I think he could at least be playing somewhere. So, also Tyrann Mathieu, former LSU player in the draft, had to say that he stopped counting failed drug tests after the number 10, meaning he has way more failed drug tests than 10. What do you think about this?
Well, the thing that I'm surprised at is the fact that he, whenever he said this, he said it's like team execs and whatnot during the combine interviews, and I just don't find it. I mean, you want to tell the truth and stuff, but he's kind of making it seem that it wasn't really his fault, and that it was LSU's fault for not getting him help. So I kind of think that's kind of a low blow, and it kind of shows okay, yeah, you got caught multiple times, and they probably warned him hey, stop before we have to suspend you, and he still didn't stop. So this kind of shows me that he doesn't have really that great of self-control. So I mean, he can be an electrifying player, but there's just that risk there now. So we'll see what happens with him.
Yeah, do you see him, being any kind of a name in the NFL?
Well, the last time I read, he was supposed to be a 3rd or 4th round pick. So I mean, he's still, that's a quality pick.
Yeah.
you know, I don't see him being like a playmaker like he was in college or anything, but I see him being like a steady contributor to a defense.
I think that he will still be in the news because he has had, just like anybody else, even if they're not a big player, it's that guy that was talked about a lot because of whatever drugs or this. So if anything happens to him, he's going to be in the news and everybody's going to know who he is.
Yeah.
All right, this weekend in sports, we have the Masters tournament. So far, who would you like to see, and maybe who do you think can win?
Well, Furyk's been tearing out the course. Last time I saw, he was 5 under. He had the lead, but he just can't really hit the ball that far. His game plays well for Augusta, but I just think it might. You saw Bubba Watson win it last year, and he's a big hitter. I don't think Furyk will hold out. I think he'll be there on the final day. But right now, I've really liked how Ricky Fowler's been playing. And, you have Tiger Woods sitting back slowly back there at 2 under. So if he can just make the cut, stay within, I would say the maximum amount of strokes I would give him a chance to win would be like he would have to be down by 4 or 5, and then I would still give him a slight chance. But, the Tiger factor, that's always there.
Yeah.
And, there's just been a lot of guys who have looked good. Dustin Johnson's looked good. So I think right now it's kind of a toss-up. No one is going out there and just blowing people out of the water.
Yeah, I'd like to see Tiger win just because it's Tiger.
For sure.
All right, and this weekend we also have the Dallas Stars.
Yeah, the Stars, they're going for their 4th straight win tonight against the Predators. It's kind of weird because we kind of team tanked and traded away like a bunch of our older players that we had a lot of stock in, and because we thought we were out of the playoffs, but now we're only like a game and a half out. Wow. So, nice. It's, if you're a Stars fan, it's kind of a confusing time. Like, do you want the draft pick, or do you want to be an 8 seed? But the Kings were the 8 seed last year, and they won the cup, so you never know.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that you say that they are on a 4-game winning, or trying to go for a 4-game winning streak, when in previous weeks we've been like 3-game losing streak. Every week. But
I know.
That's a good change of pace.
Exactly.
Also, the Rangers are playing the Mariners this weekend, or tonight, at 9:10, California time, so 7:10 here. Or 9:10 here, 7:10 there.
It's 10:10 Eastern, so 9:10 here. Yeah.
Right.
So,
9:10 here. So if you
like 7:10 Seattle
Friday night
time.
baseball, Friday night lights, but not so much lights there. Who do you think's going to win tonight?
Well, I have to give the edge to the Rangers. They went in there and they beat King Felix with Justin Grimm on the mound. So I think it's Darvish that is going tonight. So, the only bad thing is Darvish hasn't really ever played or pitched that well up in Seattle. So, hopefully he can figure him out. But, whenever the Rangers play the Mariners, it should always be a win. But, that's not the way baseball goes. So
nope, as Ron Washington would
say.
In Tarleton sports, we have softball. A big series this weekend for softball, playing Midwestern. Always a rival between Tarleton and Midwestern in any sport, especially softball, because Midwestern, I think, might be leading or ahead in the conference so far. And then we have a 4-game series for baseball against Angelo State in San Angelo. They will be playing 4 games this weekend. That's a lot. And San Angelo is always a very very good team in baseball and softball to try and compete with.
Well, as always, guys, this has been a production of the Texan News Service from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. Today's broadcast was produced by Landon Haston. You can follow Texan News Service on Facebook and Twitter, and check us out on texannews.net. I'm Caleb McCaig.
And I'm Azia Branson. Tune in each Friday at 2:15 for your weekly dose of topic of discussion. You can also tune in Monday through Friday at 12:30 for all your regional and national news. Tune in Monday at 2 for the TSU Buzz. Also, check out our weekly Spanish news, Noticiero Texan TV, each Friday at 2. Thanks for tuning in and have a great weekend.